Coming up tonight, Narewa and Yavusanya villages ask for government to help them relocate. Principals and school management to be standby, and Russia and Eastern Europe offers aid. Good evening, I'm Sandra Asam. Villagers of Narewa and Yavusanya in Nadi have called on government to assist them in relocating their village to higher ground, since they have been prone to flooding for a number of decades now, with the riverbanks slowly eroding. Commissioner Western Joeli Dawaki says they will relocate them to a land that traditionally belongs to them.
Commissioner Western Joeli Dawaki says government will need to inspect the land for relocation, provided that it traditionally belongs to both the village of Narewa and Yavusanya village. Dawaki added government will assist the villages with the land with the long-term plan of building the resilience of the villages.
That is in our plan, that is in the long-term plan of us being able to address the flooding issues or the disaster. It is building the resilience of a community. You need to put people in a place that is resilient. It's not vulnerable, it's free of risk. The vulnerabilities is not there.
Dawaki says the flood has showed that a number of communities have been badly affected, and it's a big cost to these communities and government. He says moving to higher and safer grounds will not be a worry, since with proper rehabilitation exercise, these communities will be resilient to other natural disasters.
A climate change workshop is scheduled to be held in Fiji this year. Health Minister Dr. Nir Sharma told Fiji News that the symposium brings together regional and international health and climate change experts to discuss the risks of climate change and how it poses on health.
The symposium is expected to draw a correlation between climate change and the increasing spread of vector-borne diseases such as typhoid and dengue fever. With the recent flooding experienced around the country, Health Minister Dr. Nir Sharma and Vice-Chancellor at the University of Fiji, Professor Mahendra Kumar, says amongst the concerns associated to climate change is the projected increase in the distribution and prevalence of infectious diseases, and is aimed at improving preparedness for and responses to outbreaks.
There's a lot of evidence to suggest that these kinds of extreme events like periods of rain, wind, temperature and so on really encourages pathogens and diseases like malaria, dengue and a lot of waterborne diseases. And there is a strong link. In fact, previous research has established a direct correlation between incidence of dengue in this country and rainfall events. I remember a group from East West Center who did this work, and that's already established. So there's a lot of studies done. What we think should happen through the symposium is we can get together and talk about the kind of knowledge, the issues which we understand now, the data we have, as a means of trying to chart out plan for future research.
But exactly how and to what extent sudden changes to weather patterns affects the rise in infectious diseases will be an interesting matter.
At the end of the day, if climate change is already here, it's affecting us, will obviously impact negatively on the health sector. That is a major economic cost to the government.
The symposium on climate change and the effects to health is expected to be held in September of this year.
The Fiji Red Cross Society, together with the National Disaster Management Office, has assisted villagers in the Western Division with a water purification system. This is to assist villagers for washing, cooking and especially for drinking.
Nawangarua village was one of the worst affected areas during the recent flooding in Ba. The whole village was underwater and their only evacuation center was the church. According to one of the villages, the water rose to a little above their waist. Right now, villagers of Nawangarua are using water from the river for washing and cooking. Villagers have been cautioned against using water directly from the river as it poses a threat to people contracting waterborne diseases.
The program we're carrying out today is basically trying to increase the capacity of water. We worked alongside NDMO office and basically they've identified this village Nawangarua, Natutu and Votua as the isolated areas that they would like for us to come and assist in. Our water system, purification system is going to be in place once the pumping process is completed behind me. So otherwise nothing will eventuate till tomorrow once we go through that process.
Coming up after the break, teachers told to be on standby and rehabilitation works halted.